So what's up guys, this video is a free run through. This is not rehearsed or anything, so I'm just gonna go right into this topic. As you see, this video is titled The Keys to a Successful Relationship and Future Marriage. And so I'm gonna be reading some stuff to you guys and some really good points that you should listen to, and if you have a pen and paper, possibly write these things down, and I'll be offering like my perspective on what I think like these things mean. And some of these concepts you can tie it to religiously or just honestly like having a better relationship, because relationships are a big deal. You know, it's you see it all around in the world today. You see people doing things, making decisions. You know, there's people that cheat on their significant other. It's as bad to the point where people are cheating in marriages. People are cheating on their boyfriend and girlfriend, things like that. So we're just gonna get into this. This is very deep, right? So, concept number one: know your boundaries. Now, when I'm reading this, we're gonna be basing it on perspective of us men tied to girls, and for any women out there watching this video, the roles of what I'm going to say can be reversed. So, know your boundaries with a girl. Pretend you really like this girl. Feelings develop. She has feelings for you. Now, you don't want to go out with her alone every time. Now, the key here is, like, if you go out with her alone every time, you're going to be doing some bad things. Like, you're going to sin, making out, having sex, committing zina. Zina is an Arabic word for basically fornicating before marriage. And if with a girl, if you say you want to talk, usually you end up committing zina. So, like, what I take this to mean is, like, when you say you want to talk with a girl, that could mean anything. You might want to talk about your relationship. You might want to talk about things that are going on, or you might just want to spend time with them. It's best to not be doing these things alone, because one thing can lead to another, and you know, you can find yourself committing these just absurd acts. So create a boundary to show where you're at in a relationship. Try to stay away from that line to maintain your purity. It's not about getting at that line, it's about being on the same page. So, to get back to what we were just saying about maintaining your purity, knowing your boundaries, as this is concept number one. Remember, number one, you want things to go in a way, like, at least in my opinion, that everybody's on the same page. So, I mean, when people start talking or people get into relationships, you don't really know, like, what the other person might be thinking, the boy or the girl. Like, you don't know what their intentions are, whether sexually or, you know, going on dates. Like, you don't know where that person is. And I think it can get very awkward if you initiate something and the other person either doesn't initiate it back, or maybe in their mind it's too soon. And, you know, even for me, I've personally made this mistake. Just getting off topic about myself. You know, where there was a time in my life where with a girl, and we're talking about boundaries, like, I initiated a kiss, and it wasn't the right time, moment for it. I thought it was, and, you know, my intentions, I really believed it was a good time for it, but it wasn't. It probably was too soon at that time. And obviously when I made the decision, I couldn't go back and undo it. And, you know, I lived and learned from that situation. So for me personally, one of the things that I'm try to avoid, or I'm striving for now in my life, is maintaining purity, is staying away from adultery and zina. And I think it goes back to being on the same page. For me, in my life, it starts with the mindset that I have. Like, I have a pure mindset that, for me, like, when I meet a girl or I talk to a girl, and I have the mentality that no matter what situation I may be in, like, I'm not gonna go and commit adultery, because I just know it's not right, and it can lead to a lot of bad things happening, and I need to be patient and wait till marriage, and that's what I want to do. Some of you guys may not feel that way, or you may not believe like in that concept, because like some people say, oh, like if I don't have sex with my partner until marriage, what if like we learn after marriage that we're not compatible sexually? And I feel like thinking in that way is a negative mindset, because honestly, like getting married and love is not about sex. And that's I think one of the false things that people think is like, oh, like when you have sex you're making love to each other, and in some degrees like that may be true, but in reality when we look at love, I think love, it's not all about the sex. I think it's things that include like being there for that person, supporting them to their goals and dreams in life, and making them feel a certain way that they've never felt before. And it's making them feel that way without actually having to go to the regard of having sex with that person. So that's concept number one. We got 3 more to go, and now we're moving on to concept number 2, which is know if the door is open. And we are going to get right into that. So we are on concept number 2. As I was saying, know if the door is open. I forgot to mention also if the door is closed. So what we're talking about here is a situation you may have with a girl, or vice versa, like for you women, a situation you may have with a male. You have 2 options in this situation. One, if the door, when we talk about the door being open, I see it as like, you see an opportunity there, an opportunity like whether it's a relationship or getting to know somebody, but you believe in your mind, you feel in your heart like there's an opportunity of something there. And if you feel that the door is open, a good example could be you may find out you really like a girl in class and you find out she's single. So you get excited because you realize now that the door is open, meaning you can talk to her, and who knows, like somewhere down the line, the 2 of you could potentially be in a relationship. Know if the door is closed. So this is really key. You guys gotta know, like, what situation are you in? Is the door open or is it closed? And if the door is closed, you have 2 options here. One is you build a friendship that, can maybe open that door later down the line. Or second option is dropping them right then and there. And as I like to say, knowing that she's not in the cards for you because God has this knowledge. So, that first option we said, you can build a friendship that can maybe open that door. This is a really tough one because a lot of people, they don't have the mental toughness to be able to do that. When they fall for somebody or they really like somebody, and that somebody is with another person, it's really hard to be supportive of that person because you have all these feelings for them, and it hurts you because you want to be with them, but yet they're with somebody else. And being there for them as a friend can get hard because most likely the girl is going to talk to you about the guy that she's in a relationship with, and it might be too hard on you. So, that's just all up to you, but no matter what you go through, you always got to think positive. Like, you can't get down on yourself. And I think being there for someone as a friend, if you have the right mentality about it, like we said, the door can open, but we don't know that. Like, you may like a girl, you may find out she's taken, and who knows, maybe she's been in a relationship for 5 years, and in your mind you're like, oh, well, they're gonna get married. I mean, nothing's guaranteed. Like, we're not even promised another day to live. Like, tomorrow we're not even promised. So you can't always just assume that people are gonna stay together forever, and that, like, what I've heard, all good things never last forever. That may be true for some things, and it may not be true for other things. But concept number 2 is a really big one, because I think a lot of us in today's society, we fail at this concept because maybe we're not educated enough on how to handle these situations. And at the end of the day, like, we can't suscept ourselves to depression or to negative emotion, because I see it in today's world, and it's happened to me. Like, there have been several occasions that I've been in where I had so many feelings and emotions and attachment to a girl that when the door was closed on me, I didn't handle it well. Like, I'll be honest, like I didn't handle it well. I went into depression mode. Life became really hard. It became hard just to sleep or to even physically do anything. I can recall a memory junior year of high school where like I was so like messed up here mentally that we had weight training class and I couldn't even think straight. Like I was barely just surviving a 50-minute weight training class. And with where I've got to in my life at this point right now, just thinking positive and having that mentality, like I can't believe that this is something I went through. So just I encourage you guys to take these concepts. Maybe I'm not going to sit here and say that my opinion is the best opinion on these situations, but what I hope that you learn from this is just a different perspective on, the world and people. And, who knows, maybe if you start applying some of these concepts, good things are going to happen to you. And I think at the end of the day, we're all striving to one day be like in a successful relationship that leads to marriage and leads to if God wills, like having kids and having a beautiful family. And like every one of us wants that, and we can't sit here and just think like, I'll give you an example. Like people, I always kind of thought to myself like, oh, how is it fair that some people are meeting the person they marry at age 15, 16, and then other people don't meet that person until 25, 26? Like I think this is a negative mindset to think when you start thinking that, oh, like it's not fair that these people have already met. You really just gotta know that like God has a plan for you, and every relationship that has failed for you that maybe you wanted to be in, there was a reason why it didn't work out, and you went through some adversities and some trials and you learned from it. And I think that's what we should do, is when a relationship doesn't work out, we should look at all the blessings of it not working out and all the positives that can be gained. So that's just why I encourage you guys, just think positive and get on the right track. And if God wills, all of us will have successful relationships and we'll have beautiful families one day. Some of you may already be successful and you can be using these concepts to your marriage, and I'm telling you it's going to help to strengthen that marriage and that bond that you guys share for each other. So Traviezy is out. I will be sharing the other 2 concepts. There's 4 concepts. Again, just spreading the wisdom and knowledge, and you got this.